Greetings. Welcome to the Church of Biblical Sanity. I'm Andy Johnson. January 27th, 2026. Now, I have nothing to say today that should be offensive to any of those in the Christian community. I'm not using hate language, and I am not demeaning individual people. I honor your spiritual path, whatever that may be. I honor your beliefs, and you may disagree with what I say. You may think I'm totally wrong in my interpretation of Scripture, but that's okay. I'm doing my best not to be offensive, but to be biblical. So I will put the Bible verses from which today's talk is from in the YouTube thing below, so you'll be able to see that. So part one is quick to listen. Now, if you disagree with what I have to say, let's talk about it. Let's talk. And listening is an important part of talking. St. James tells us about this. In James' first chapter 19, he says, "My dear brothers, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. For a man's anger does not bring about the righteous life that God desires." And think about how many times anger gets in the way. Anger is not good. So we are to be quick to listen, slow to speak. When we disagree, we must be quick to listen. Be quick to listen. Not listen to find a quiet space to jump in with your talk. Quick to listen means one seeks to understand. Quick to listen does not mean quick to correct people, or quick to convince people, or quick to talk over people, or quick to silence people. Neither does quick to listen mean that you need to agree. You don't need to agree with me. That would be a horrible thing. Quick to listen does not mean you must convince others of the rightness of your ideas and the wrongness of theirs. You can embrace what is precious to you, knowing that others are also embracing what is precious to them, and our embracings are different, and that's okay. Listening and talking with those who disagree is how we evolve our thinking and grow in our faith. And I'll be defining faith in a minute here. But hearing the ideas of others invites us to revisit our ideas, our thinking, our beliefs, then either reify or strengthen and revise our thinking. When we close ourselves off from those who think differently, when we surround ourselves in like think, in happy talk, we cease to grow in this bubble. We become stuck in time. This leads to cognitive inbreeding, deleterious mutations. To grow is to change. To stay the same is to wither and die. We must be quick to listen. Part two, Pharisees. Now, I bring this up because some have been extremely slow to listen. In fact, they're not listening at all. Now, last week I posted some Bible verses to illustrate what I see as the hypocrisy of some in the Christian community, primarily those on the religious right. And I had some rather harsh words. Yes, I did. But we have a license to be harsh and a responsibility to use harsh words when the situations warrant. Jimmy Swaggart certainly didn't hesitate to use harsh words. So here are my harsh words, my biblically based harsh words. With some in the Christian community, there is a glaring juxtaposition between the biblical text upon which their belief system is based and their actions upon which their values are based. Not all of Christendom, mind you, some. And it seems to glare most brightly from the ones who constantly tell us how Christian they are. So, one day I was reading the Bible and I happened upon Matthew 23, verses 27. And it says, and this is from Jesus, quote, "Woe to you, teachers of the law and Pharisees, you hypocrites! You are like whitewashed tombs, which look beautiful on the outside, but on the inside are full of bones of the dead and everything unclean," unquote. There I go reading the Bible again, and some are apparently offended that I would do such a thing. How dare I read the Bible? Some of my conservative, Jesus-loving Christian friends have become modern-day Pharisees. They let us know at every opportunity just how much they love Jesus, but they're silent, sympathetic, and compliant to a government that lies, abuses, intimidates, bullies, steals, hoards, imprisons, and now kills people. And I'm talking about the ICE Gestapo. Now, when I read biblical scriptures, this seems to be the sort of stuff that's looked down upon. When I read biblical scriptures, it seems instead to promote responsibility, kindness, compassion, and care. These seem to be rather dominant themes when I read the Bible. Maybe I'm getting it wrong. Now, some of my conservative, Jesus-loving Christian friends are somehow able to justify what Donald Trump and his mass Gestapo agents are doing. They support a president who lies, abuses women, breaks the law, covers up the Epstein files, ignores the Constitution, and uses the power of the office he has been given to take Greenland because, quote, "we need it," unquote. And in doing so, my conservative, Jesus-loving Christian friends are doing the same by proxy. How is it possible not to see you as whitewashed tombs, dead bones? Everything is unclean. There's no love and compassion inside you. Part 3, lies, and the people of the lies. Last week, some of my conservative, Jesus-loving Christian friends took umbrage with my Bible-based conclusions. They were offended. So what did they do with their offenses? They contacted the Facebook gods and said I was posting offensive things. How dare I use biblical scripture to make a point? Apparently, their belief system is so fragile that it offends by my selection of biblical verses. Imagine that. So you silenced me for a week by claiming my post to be offensive. I cannot respond to those who respond to my posts. I can still post. And I call you frauds and hypocrites, people of the lie. There was nothing offensive here. And as long as you don't use hate language or engaged in unwarranted personal attacks, I will not block or delete any of your posts. Tell me what I should think differently. I will be quick to listen. Please tell me what I got wrong. Make a case for your point. This is how one is quick to listen. So, part 4, not people of belief. Are you people of faith? The scriptures have much to say about faith. Hebrews 11:1, quote, now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see, unquote. Faith is different from belief. We often get those two mixed up. Belief is being certain that a thing is so. You are certain that a bridge will hold you up. You believe it will hold you up. That's belief. Faith is stepping out on the bridge. Faith is stepping out on your biblical principles. Faith is living your values, not just believing your values, but living them. And some of my conservative, Jesus-loving Christian friends are people of belief, not people of faith. Am I judging you? No, I'm simply applying scriptures to you. Now, if you're basically a bad person, a selfish person, an evil person, or a narcissistic person, and you support Trump and his ICE policies, I have nothing against you. You're living your values. That's what you do. But if you're claimed to be a, quote, Bible-believing Christian, I would say to you, a little less belief and a little more faith.